Hi, we have Mr. Anupam Vasudev, the Chief Marketing Officer of Aircel, which is a GSM telecom operator in India. Thanks for joining us, sir. What are the consumer trends that you see in the market?
In telecom, I think 2016 is the beginning of a change. As you can see, new operators launched with new technology. That has certainly disrupted the market in many ways. So things have started changing. The first fact you can see is that the 3G smartphone sales have almost disappeared. Every smartphone has now become a 4G smartphone. There is an increased level of penetration in urban India based on where the 4G network footprint is. So what we see clearly in urban India, a big disruption happening. Digitization has begun. There has been a demonetization effect which has also happened last week. So all that will drive the digital economy even faster. Whether it's the mobile wallets, whether it is IoT, whether it is e-commerce, whether it's online, all that stuff will take off in urban India dramatically. So that will change urban India, but rural India will probably take more time for us to get through. I think rural India probably is somewhere in 2018 to 2019 we'll start seeing some changes. I think that market will remain largely where it is, but the big ones will, there will be greater, sharper divide between what happens in urban and rural, at least from the way consumer behaves and able to see things. Convergence is also happening in terms of from the telecom side, whether it's the media, telecom, telecommunication services will all get merged through, whether it's a DTH play, triple play building up, broadband, all that building up. So all that changes are beginning to happen, and what we see at this stage is, as we're saying, is largely going to be urban India centric. That digital revolution in rural India is still a while away, and it may happen in 2 years' time or 3 years' time, but we clearly see 2017 being a big disruption for urban markets.
And for the rural market, which are the steps you think telcos should take to actually penetrate the data services?
I think data services, basically what would a rural consumer need in the market? He needs cheap services, internet, because his affordability is a challenge. Getting internet into rural markets is expensive because you need to lay larger fiber, larger things, your catchment area is smaller. So the cost economics starts working against you a bit more there. In urban markets, concentration of people allows it that much easier. Third thing, because of literacy issue, you have to rely a lot on video.
Right.
And hence, entertainment becomes a big driver for consumption there. Third element is language barriers on content. They aren't too much, the internet is still very English heavy, though videos have started taking over. There aren't too many things for people to watch on that content easily mainly meant for them. So rural market will only thrive on entertainment as a basic need. The other elements of whether it's banking or utility services or stuff is still a while away for them to make it part of their daily life. So I think what we see is the entertainment will lead rural market in terms of data services. Cost will be a factor because prices are expensive to deliver there. Once those two things are taken care of, the rural markets will also respond a lot to their digital or data service consumptions.
Do you see any change in consumption pattern of subscribers in the rural markets?
The rural markets are, of course, there's no doubt that the percentage penetration of data services is increasing, but much slower. In urban markets, the growth is much faster. And in the rural markets, it's largely slow, it's 2G speeds, etc., most of them. So the consumption is limited towards, say, maybe a bit of messaging services if they might use somebody. But there's not too much of data consumption beyond a point for the customers out there. And that divide which we see clearly, the rural-urban divide is clearly increasing and will increase subsequently in 2017 at least, before it starts again converging in 2019, 2020 onwards.
So for the industry, which are the challenges you think the industry is currently facing?
I think industry in 27, see, the big thing which is going to happen is there's an advent of a new player and a new technology. And with that, there is a fragmentation of both the customer base as well as the technology base. Some of the estimates are suggesting that the Indian telco market would be one third between the three services. Now, that's a very expensive proposition, Because if you have to invest in all three to make it work, it really adds cost to the industry. Now, not about you may choose one versus the other, but
Right.
the fact is that the customer base is very well split across the three bases over the next couple of years. So it's going to be a very high capital intensity. Second is that the industry profitability under severe pressure, mainly because of a higher debt levels which have happened, and secondly because of pressure on pricing because of a new entrant in the marketplace. Third thing, most operators will largely focus on in retaining their customer base. So for that again, price play will become important, and ensuring that you're able to have enough experience with having the right technology available. The fourth thing which probably will happen is a growth in partnerships.
And what existing telecom operators, old telcos are doing to actually retain their customers in India?
You need to have the technology available. You need to ensure that you have, if a customer is looking at a 4G service, you need to ensure you have the 4G service. You need to provide that first option. Second is obviously you can't fight free with anything. If some operator is offering free, you can't be competing with that. So we have to make sure your plans and your products are competitive with him to make it work, and therefore do some packaging and bundling which makes it more attractive for the customer to pick it up. So all those elements are happening. Third, of course, is you are trying to become a bit more aggressive in acquiring new customers to ensure that whatever is the loss of customer base you're having from your base, which is moving towards another player, you're able to fill it up with with faster with
Right.
more aggressive acquisition. So the marketplace activities have further intensified with that happening. So just to sum it up, so you need to invest in experience.
Right.
You need to ensure you have aggressive plans available. And third, you need to ensure your acquisition levels are pumped up to manage the higher level of churn which you will see in the market.
Right.